What's going on, everybody? All right. Just got an email. I haven't read the whole thing, so I'm gonna read it with you. Um, Let me just cover the top part first, in case his wife wants to kill him. All right, Lou. My name is. I'm gonna leave that out. I reside in. I'm gonna leave that out. I got into AMC March of 2021. I made a few dollars off the run in June of that year. I sold at 55. Sweet. Then bought back in around not long after. Since then, my portfolio looks like shit now. Yeah. My problem is I cannot get my wife, I'm going to leave her name out, beautiful name, to understand the play on its face was a good investment at the time. Since then, she obviously become negative about the whole play and the market in general, saying the market always wins, so why lose your money? And now it's become to the point that she even hears about AMC or any of your videos, she becomes very irritable and blames not me, for losing the money. Can you help me get her to understand that this investment wasn't a bad decision, just as CEO and the board acted nefariously and not in the interest of their shareholders? And that people could have not known the silverback sweater creep is the Bond villain in this mess. Maybe you can help me get to her to understand what's going on here, to relieve the tension in our marriage. Lou, you're the only guy that could explain this to her. All right. This is what I'm going to do. First of all, I'll put it from my point of view. I have been around this world for such a long time that when I got into AMC, face value of it, it was a great investment, not just a good investment, just because it was heavily shorted with a business that, like I said back then, it was inevitable. It was going to open up again. People were going to go to the movies, and at the end of the day, it was going to have positive earnings going forward. So people that shorted it thinking it was going to go into bankruptcy were going to lose. So it was a great investment based on the short squeeze potential to have a turnaround because it wasn't going into bankruptcy. Yes, unfortunately. The CEO comes from the world of private equity. So he and his people work together in order to make money via us, via blowing out the company. Now, there's no way your husband could have known that, because the only way to have known that was to have been in those conversations and seen everything that was going on with the board, the CEO, and the cast of characters behind the scene, like Citigroup and Tara and whatever. Now, that being said, throughout this process, I believe there were many dark moments that they decided to fuck over the common man that cornered this play. We cornered them. Okay, we cornered them hard. We cornered them and we ran. February 2021, June 2nd, and then right before the creation of APE. What you have going on here, and I agree to what your wife said as far as Wall Street, what it is now, because I've said that Wall Street, I had a conversation yesterday, a little Zoom chat with former Cantor Fitzgerald guy, and because we're involved in some other stuff. And even he agreed. And he's like one of the guys that didn't go down in the towers. Like he wasn't at work that morning. The street is totally different. It's different. This type of behavior listen, I'll turn it back. This is no longer the Wall Street that I came up in. This is no longer the Wall Street that, this was a horrendous thing. But I'm going to tell you something. I don't even blame Wall Street. I put the entire blame on the board and the CEO for the CEO telling retail investors that he is with us, he sees no signs of synthetics, and we're going to defeat the shorts. He hates the shorts, but he's working with the shorts. Think about that part. There is no way your husband would know that, because a lot of people that were street people could not see this coming unless they were involved in it. And then if they were involved in it, they would be trading with insider information. That's like bye-bye felony time. That little tight group, those multiple emails that are coming out now in Discovery, Popcorn, the CEO with multiple email accounts, them working back and forth, trying to set up, like Antara holding Ape onto the vote and turning back. You have to understand, there was no way in the world your husband would have known that, because it was a good investment. This is like you get married to a special person, and that person through time develops problems in whatever, and all of a sudden it's like, but it was a good marriage. What happened? Ended in divorce. You didn't know what that person was thinking, what they wanted to do, their change of thoughts, plans, whatever, feelings. That's what happened along the way with AMC. You have to understand, these kind of things do happen and people get blindsided. Now, that being said, don't destroy your marriage or be negative on your husband on this play. You cannot control the outside forces of what scumbags do, especially in the world of money. What you can do is you can organize your money plans in order to work back everything and on top. It can be done. Right now, this play, and I've said it over and over again, this play is dead man walking up to the judge decides. Up to that time frame, we still got a shot to make back the losses. So your husband can make back the losses, and possibly even more, because they do not have the shares to stop a run. Now, after that judge makes that decision, the vice chancellor makes that decision in this court case, which basically outlined the entire fraudulent behavior. I'm with you, Create 8. After that point, that's gonna be the nails on the coffin. But for now, understand, he still has a chance of making a recovery. I'm one of these people, rich or poor, I stand by the person. If you're in my world, whatever, I don't care. Rich or poor, if you go down, we go down. That's my way of saying. Money, unfortunately, has a way of putting pressure and stuff. And I know cost of living, life, everything, it's just one of these things. I learned a long time ago, two people could get together and have love. And then that love creates dreams. But the problem is, love and dreams need money to stay afloat. So I understand where the stress comes from. And I understand, you feel like your husband took a wrong turn and got caught up in this, whatever. And some points I can say yes, but I can say it's not his fault, because I can clearly point to actual court documents to show that the company we saved was working against us to dilute in order to make money for them and their people, while putting our stock price, our investment at risk. And that's going to be determined very soon. Stand by him no matter what, because I'm going to tell you something. If you think AMC is the challenge of your financial life, there are things coming down the road that are going to be much greater. This is a small thing. We still have a chance of making back the money and more. Money and love, it's a very dangerous thing. Let me tell you something. This will soon be over, and there'll be the both of you. And let me tell you something. This I'll tell you because both of you are married and go into this process. In the end, the last thing you're gonna remember is those little numbers in the account. Things like saying I'm sorry, things like saying goodbye, things like saying I love you, things like saying I'm glad we found each other, things like saying thank you for sticking with me. Those are the important things. A couple of $1,000, a couple of $10,000, a couple of $100,000. It's all fake money anyway. Those things are real. You carry them into your next life. Hang tight. We're still in the window of time for having a recovery or win. We still got time. So, hug and make out, make up, make love, do whatever you got to do. Don't let Popcorn and his cast of characters destroy a household. Don't do it. It's not worth it.